through either Facebook, Gmail, email, Twitter, however it is you want to do. If you're interested in signing up, just go ahead and enter your credit card. Our platform charges all the credit cards and gets the money from the guests to the host so they can go through their party. So if 20 people signed up, then we collect all that money and get it to whoever's hosting the party so they can go out and buy enough wins for everyone to enjoy. The way that we came up with this was in college, we kind of realized that whenever you decide to host an event, you inherit a set of logistical issues. And we tried to break those issues down into two main categories. The two main categories being communication and funding. So in terms of funding, how are you going to collect your money? Are you going to run around with a Square credit card reader? Are you going to collect Venmo from everyone? Are you going to take checks and keep a separate Excel chart? It all gets a little bit messy. And then in terms of invite, how are you going to let everyone know that this event is going down? Are you going to send them a text message? Are you going to send them an email invite, a Facebook invite, tell them in person? So because of these issues, we decided to try to create a platform that made it as easy as possible to throw your event. So that's where Squad Up was born. We've been up and running for a little bit over a year now, and it's been great to see the growth. We started out just a few events thrown by me and my three co-founders, and we've grown to be throwing about 20 events a month, and continuing to grow and grab new users and continue to throw some awesome events. So it's been a lot of fun and a great experience. And, we've come a long way. We're working on an app launch right now. Right now, the platform is on the web only. And it's been a lot of fun, and definitely something that I would encourage you guys to check out if you're interested at all in the startup community. There are so many great resources out there and so many opportunities. Going into, as you get older, there's really just so much that you could take advantage of, whether it's online courses or networking, whatever it is. So I highly recommend that you guys check out the startup culture, the startup lifestyle. It's been a really great experience, and it's a lot of fun. And you learn so much by starting your own business and starting from the bottom and coming up with an idea and building that out, coming up with some mock-ups, some wireframes, and kind of seeing it all the way through to an actual website build where people can get on your site and check it out. So it's been a really great experience, and definitely recommend that you guys continue to check out the startup lifestyle, because it's pretty awesome. So my job at the startup that I work at Squad Up is a user experience designer and graphic designer. So what that means is I pretty much help design how the website looks and feels. So it's my job to make it as easy as possible for anyone to use a website, whether that's my younger brother or my grandma who can barely get on Google. So it's important to make sure that the site is as easy to use as possible. And one of the things that we found out when we were first building the site is that we thought that we had a lot of great features, but we were running into issues with people getting on the platform, inviting friends, and signing up. And initially, because we were so close to the product, we thought that must have been an issue with our users. They couldn't figure something out. They were too dumb to figure it out, which was obviously the wrong way of looking at it. And it kind of required you to take a step back and empathize with the users and make sure that everything on your site is as clear and concise and as easy to use as possible. So we've been through a couple of redesigns, and now we think that our site is about as stable and easy to use as possible with a bunch of great features. And we're looking forward to porting all of those features into our mobile app, which will be coming out by the end of the month. So really, really excited about that. When it comes out, I'll definitely encourage you guys to check out the app. It's going to be pretty awesome, revolutionary, kind of centered around these flash event networks where you could have event-specific chat. So if you were all signed up to go to the Rangers watch party tomorrow night and you didn't know what to wear, or you didn't know what time to show up, or you didn't know if you could bring a friend or not, you just go ahead and open the app, go to the chat, and ask your question there. So kind of like trying to create a chat social network based around events, which is something that we think that no one has really done before. So really, really excited about that. Working at a startup is definitely a lot of responsibility, and it makes you learn so much because you're required to wear many hats. So my main title is user experience designer, but I'm also the one who answers the customer service requests if anyone decides to chat in the bottom left-hand corner and they're having issues. I help manage the developers, make sure that we have the features in the site that we need and the platform is as stable as possible and running without any bugs. No issues there. So it's definitely a lot of responsibility. You learn a lot and you pick up a lot, which is why I'm really such a big fan of the lifestyle, because it really kind of forces you to learn and continue to develop. Our office is in Times Square in New York City. We work out of a co-working space, which is a really unique and interesting kind of office setup for startups. The way that it works is that it's one floor of the building in the middle of Times Square. There are 100 different companies with about 300 different people all throughout the floor. So it's a really great opportunity to meet people and network. And again, it really tries to enforce this whole idea of startup culture. And it's great as an events hosting website because everyone throws an event. Whether you're throwing a happy hour or you're throwing a launch party for your app, whatever it is, everyone's throwing events. So it's great to be in such a cool co-working space. We throw this great event every week, every Wednesday from 6:30 to 8:30. We do a startup showcase. So we usually have 2 startups come in and kind of talk about what they've been working on. It's nice because it's a very low stress environment. Usually when you're a startup and you're pitching to investors and people in suits and things along those lines. And then when you come into our startup showcase, it's a little bit more casual, people in jeans and t-shirts, and it's a little bit easier to talk about what you've been doing in a low pressure situation. So that's one of the awesome events that we've got to throw. We do a bunch of really cool events all the time. Last weekend, we chartered a 737 jet to fly from Westchester out to Nantucket for the weekend. It's this big race weekend called the Gowie weekend. And people were having trouble getting from the Northeast to Nantucket. I don't know if any of you guys know about Nantucket. I certainly didn't. But apparently it's super isolated and really hard to get to from the Northeast. A bunch of people complained about it to us. And, because we work at an event hosting platform, we saw this as an opportunity to go ahead and make a really special event out of it. So we chartered a Boeing 737 to fly from Westchester to Nantucket and back. It was cheaper than commercial airlines, and everyone had a really great time. So it's great to be able to work on a platform where you can throw types of events like these, and it counts as work. Another super cool event that we did the registration for an event at South by Southwest, which is a massive tech and music conference in Austin, Texas. The event that we helped with registration for was called the Ilmore, which is kind of like a late night rap party. So it was 4 days, and the concert went from 12:30 in the morning till 5:30 in the morning. So it was a bit of a stretch, but it was a lot of fun. And some of the artists that we got to work with included Big Sean and Future, Wiz Khalifa, Steve Aoki, and all of Team Young Money. So Lil Wayne, which was like pretty much when I was in high school, that was about the coolest thing that I got.